Hey YouTube, back today for a sort of a product review and a how-to on assembling these high-tech details HO trash dumpsters. Neat little kit. I haven't put these together yet. Bought them about a year ago, and they've just sort of been sitting on my workbench waiting to be done. And I decided I'd take the day to go ahead and do them. So this is sort of what they should look like when they're finished. But we'll see how it turns out here. Alright, so now we've opened up the packaging, and this is sort of what you get. The instructions are just seen on the inside here. So it ends up being a 16-step process. Looks pretty straightforward. We'll see how all that goes. And then two little sets of plastic sprues. One molded in green, which is your dumpsters themselves, actual sides, and then the plastic roofs for them, which are molded in black. Okay, so now we're over at the benchwork, and I've got the parts off the sprues. One thing you will notice on these little end pieces that are molded green, they have the wheels on them, and those are molded in green. So if you're not going to want your wheels green, it's something you'll have to touch up afterwards to make those black or some other suitable color. So, one of note too in the instructions, it does say for step one, you go ahead and glue them together and then let it sit for about 15 minutes to make sure it's nice and secure. I probably won't let it sit 15 minutes, but we'll make sure it's secure before I proceed on. One little item to note when you're installing the floor, and this is the floor piece, there actually is a little lip and a small little notch right in the center of it. And so that's going to be the upper side. It's going to fit in like this. So this is the correct orientation on these, with the wheels would be pointing down, but you can see that little notch right there that sits into the side of the dumpsters. So make sure when you're gluing this piece on, you don't glue it in upside down, because if you don't look close, you could miss that thing right away and glue it in like that, and that'd be upside down. So look for that little notch. And there we go. There's step one. Glued together. It went together, no problems at all. The rest of the steps should be just as easy. I'll probably let this set for about 2-3 minutes and let it dry, and then move on. And I'm using Plastic weld for this. It actually use it for a lot of plastic model kits. I find it works really good. I like it a lot better than some of the other solvents. But probably any kind of solvent would work on these. It's pretty straightforward. You could probably even use super glue if you wanted. But all right, so let's go on and see if we can get this up to a little bit further stage. All right, we're up at the step now to install the side pockets. There's a right side pocket and a left side pocket. These are actually have a little channel on the other side. But you can see there's 4 little notches on, as you're looking at them, the right and left of each one. And on the upper part of the screen, those notches are right near the end of the side pocket. And on the lower part of the screen, those side notches are indented just a little bit. So here's the almost completed dumpster. It's got everything done except for the roof, or the lid on it. It went together pretty quick. I'm going to go ahead and stop assembly at this point, since all this stuff will be green, and then go ahead and get it painted, and then once it's painted, do the final assembly. One nice thing about the trash dumpster kit is that it gives you different lid configurations. You can set up your lids as all 3 of the trash dumpsters with closed lids, or all of them with open lids, or any combination in between. The actual little injected molding lids that come with the kit are not double-sided, so they actually provide twice as many as you need, so you end up with a bunch of extra lids of the other configuration that you don't want. So this first dumpster that I'm making, I'm going to make it with both lids closed, and so I've cut those out, and I'll get them painted, and we'll install them and see how it looks. Alright, so here's the final painted trash dumpster. Now I just have to go ahead and attach the lid on. And with anything, remember if you're gluing painted plastic, remember to go ahead and scrape the painted area off of the plastic so that you can get plastic to plastic adhesion on the glue. The glue works much better that way and makes much less of a mess. So with this one, like I mentioned, I'm going to put both of the lids closed. Okay, so here's the completed dumpster. All in all, it looks really good. Lids are glued on, all the parts on. I went ahead and painted the wheels a little bit so they're black, like a hardened rubber wheel, rather than being green. And I think it looks pretty good. So I'm definitely going to make the other two, and I'll probably pick some more up to go to other spots on the layout. I really like these types of details and things that help the layout look lived in and stuff. My one criticism about these is that it doesn't come with any decals or stickers or dry transfers or anything that would go on the dumpsters. So almost all these dumpsters that I've seen have caution signs on them telling kids not to play or climb in the dumpster and stuff. They have instructions as to what can and can't be dumped in them. They usually have a logo from whatever company owns the dumpster and actually does the waste disposal and things. So, and then ones that are could also have graffiti and things on them and weathering and stuff. So it'd be good if some of those decals came along, but I'm going to go ahead and make some of those myself and put them on, and then we'll see how that looks. Okay, so here's the completed trash dumpster. It's got the signs on it from Waste Management put on it, then a instruction sign saying what you can and cannot put in the dumpster, warning caution sign, warning children not to play in or around the dumpster, and then a little reminder sign telling people to close it so that animals don't get in it. I also went ahead and weathered the end pockets here where the trash truck would actually lift it up. This is to simulate that the paint's been scraped and chipped off there, and so you just got a little bit of surface rust on it. And all in all, I think it looks really good. And then I also made two other ones with open tops. So there's those are. So I went ahead and, in addition to the rust on the outside, I went ahead and put rust along the rim and the inside, and then built some trash to go inside. Put the signage on. The one with the graffiti on it is to go into Denver, where you've got a little more urban look to it. So you can see there. The lids on that one are, I intentionally put them at offset angles like that. From what I usually see, about half the dumpsters, when you open both lids like that, one of them sort of binds against the other one. The one that gets opened second binds against the one that was opened first, and therefore it doesn't open all the way. It sort of stops part way. So that was that. Look at it. And some graffiti on the back and the side over there. And then here's this one, no graffiti on it, the same signage, and then some rust. And then to make the actual trash, I did a couple of things. The dumpsters, I sort of imagined would be mostly filled with paper, cardboard, styrofoam, and then miscellaneous trash and garbage. So I went ahead and crinkled up some paper pretty good, and then folded it over and cut it into real small pieces to simulate paper. I did find that you generally want to wrinkle the paper up before you cut it into extremely small pieces, because otherwise those really small flat pieces are hard to crinkle up and bend. So it's a lot easier to take your, and it's not a lot of paper, maybe a 1 inch by 1 inch square is all you need. Wad that up into a ball multiple times, flatten it out, wad it up into a ball, flatten it out. Do that several times and then cut it into real small pieces. Cardboard, just using a brown paper sack is a great material to simulate cardboard, and you can simulate cardboard boxes with it, or ripped sheets or pieces of cardboard. And then I went ahead and made some soda cans and put those in. I've got a separate video on how to make those soda cans that you can look at and see. That's a pretty easy project. And then for styrofoam, I just found a real thin piece of styrofoam. It was less than 1 millimeter thick, and then cut that into little small pieces and ripped a few of them to drop those in. And then the inside of some wiring for some pieces of metal and some other little things. And you end up with this nice looking trash dumpster. So that's how the 3 of them look in the 3 different configurations. Again, really easy kit. It looks real good, adds a lot to a scene. And with a couple additions of the signage and graffiti and rust and stuff, it can look really nice. So go ahead and pick some up and try them out. I think you're going to like them. And in place on the layout. So there's the dumpster, and that's what it looks like. Alright, so there you have it. That's the High-Tech Details HO Scale Trash Dumpsters. The ones I made were in green. They're also available in blue. And as I mentioned, I'm definitely going to pick some more of these up. They're really nice.